Hey everybody, meteorologist Jeremy Capel with you here on what is it, Wednesday, February the 5th. We've got a bit of a storm that's creeping up on us now. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it and yeah, provide an update as I've been trying to do over the last few weeks, trying to make this channel a little bit more active. And I thought now would be a good opportunity considering the size of the storm system that we have coming up. I just realized I did not update my crawl since my last update, which was at the beginning of the month, about 4 days ago. So there is a little discussion on the February outlook. You have to forgive me. I'm just trying to get on here, trying to be active. I see Terrell Daniel on here. Thanks for stopping by. Terrell, do I remember you from the springtime? Maybe you were on a couple of my streams covering tornado coverage. Let me know. We've got 11 people on here. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on this update. I just wanted to pop on and say, hey, this is a pretty remarkable storm. Much of the latter half of the winter, we haven't seen a ton. Now, all of a sudden, that is beginning to change. So let's get you started off with a look at the radar. Impressive storm that's now winding up across the midsection of the United States, now moving into the eastern United States. There has been some pretty legitimate severe weather confirmed, perhaps large tornado north of Jackson, Mississippi a little while earlier. You can see all of the stronger weather across the southeast now, where we've got heavy rains and strong to severe thunderstorms now ongoing across portions of Alabama, Georgia. You make your way north, that is a severe squall line moving through the Tennessee River Valley. And then you make your way further to the north across the Ohio River Valley and into the Midwest. That is snow developing. It's got a beeline making its way towards the north. This will be the first of a couple waves of significant snowfall that's going to precede it looks like a nor'easter as we go throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. I think on Friday, we're looking at a very strong nor'easter. It's going to be parked just inland, so it's going to miss the big cities. But with that being said, big storm system heading our way. Let's get you caught up with the watches, the warnings, and everything else that's going on our radar screen currently. And that information should be popping up in just a couple of moments. Sometimes I have a bit of a delay on this thing. I'm not sure why, but I think that's what we've got. So give me a moment on that. We've got 31 people live. We've got Don Luzecki, John Joseph, and Terrell on here. I was on the tornadoes, he says, and I know a lot of people were watching that closely back in the springtime, and we'll do more of that here once we get into the spring. Hopefully nothing too severe, but we've got the severe weather that's out there now, and that's going to be expanded to the southeast into the day tomorrow. So let's see, there it is. That's the outlook for severe weather into the day tomorrow, showing you a rather large area where we've got not just a slight risk of severe weather, but also an enhanced risk of severe weather. Let me turn off the winter watches and warnings, just focusing on that severe threat. This is tomorrow. It moves into Atlanta, it moves into Charlotte, the panhandle of Florida. So that's day two. This is where the threat is tonight, though. Again, that's the slight risk in yellow. It does include much of Mississippi, southeastern Louisiana, the state of Alabama, and into southern portions of Tennessee. All that slides off to the east. Tomorrow, that potential will be there for some high winds, some hail, and yep, tornadoes like we saw earlier today, especially tomorrow across the southeast. So that's what we're looking at. I'm going to bring up the current watches and warnings as far as the winter is concerned. In the meantime, I'll come back, say just a couple of comments, and then we're going to move forward with this program. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I am going to show you where we could be looking at the potential of a tremendous amount of snow. Parts of the Northeast could be looking at locally 2 feet or more of snowfall. Most of that coming with that nor'easter that looks like it's going to be stronger than previously predicted. And there's a few reasons for that, and we'll see. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up in just a moment. But here you go. Current watches and warnings. These are winter storm warnings down here for the southern plains of Texas and Oklahoma City. Currently underneath a winter storm warning where they're expecting perhaps about 6 inches of the white stuff. You make your way north. That's a winter weather advisory for the Show Me State, central Illinois, northern Indiana and Ohio, southern portions of Michigan, And then into the Northeast, they've already posted winter storm warnings for the northern Adirondacks, portions of the Green and White Mountains. You make your way into interior New England. That is all a winter storm warning. Further south across most of the Empire State, excluding New York City, that's a winter weather advisory. It does include much of the state of Pennsylvania as well, and into portions of interior and even coastal New England. But you take off that winter weather advisory, and guess what you're left with? That's a winter storm watch. So they've actually got, and this is this is the territory that I'm forecasting from, up here in western portions of New York, where you've got a winter storm watch that goes into effect Friday. So in the near term, a winter storm or winter weather advisory that covers the overnight period tonight, and that winter storm watch that goes into effect on Friday. So two separate parts, but it's the same system, and it's a big one too, as we've been talking about. So I'm going to bring up some computer models next. We've got about 33 people live in the program, as mentioned. Not going to spend a ton of time on this. I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up. So here's a general look as we take a look at the GFS from earlier. And we're going to take a look at a couple of weather models here. So here's the GFS. Get this positioned. Basically showing you tomorrow morning. So I'm going to back it up. So this is now heavy rainmaker. You can see those enhanced yellows and oranges associated with thunderstorms. So you get that initial burst of snow for New York State into portions of New England, and then it tries to mix over with some freezing rain and sleet, and then changes over to some rain. But that's with the first wave. Now, what we're going to see is a consolidation of these two low pressures. Okay, so the first one is going to get pulled back in with the primary low. That's what you're seeing there. That's a 980 980 millibar low pressure system across central and eastern Pennsylvania. This is valid Friday morning, and some terrific snowfall rates that come in behind that. A closer up look at the view, this time from the European model. And I'm going to bring you over to the northeastern United States. We'll focus on that because that's where the heavy duty snows are going to be. So here we go in time. We move forward. Initial slug of precipitation. Heavy snow for a while, western central New York in the morning tomorrow, late tonight, early tomorrow. And then you have a period of mixed bag with the snow continuing across the Adirondacks, interior New England, the Green, the White Mountains. And then here comes that low pressure. And this is what I want to point out to you. It's this 979 low that's showing up on the European model. The NAM came in with some crazy numbers earlier. That was the 18Z NAM, and let's see if I have time, I'll show you those. But that low, it's getting pulled further north and further inland. The further north or inland that this low goes, the stronger it's going to be. That's just basic dynamics. So we're watching it pull up and north. As that occurs, it becomes a stronger and stronger storm, and as a result, it can produce prodigious snowfall amounts. And I think that's what that's what we're looking at. All right, so let's move forward in time, and you can see it drops down to a 975 low. This is midday on Friday across lower portions of the Empire State, and then it finally lifts off to the north and east. But those are very heavy snowfall rates for central New York into northern parts of the state, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into northern Maine. All right, precipitation amounts. Let's take a look at this. The new run of the European model, not pulling any punches at all. Again, majority of the precipitation you see on here will fall in the form of snowfall. So if this occurs, I mean, you're talking about 1 to 2 inches of snow. And, you know, if you guys, if you're, weather savvy at all, you know that it doesn't take all that much to really build up those snow totals. But 1 to 2 inches, man, you're talking about some huge totals. These are 24-hour totals. Let's do total totals. And we're going to start you here during the overnight period tonight. So the European model here, 18Z run, shows a swath of locally up to 6 inches of snow right across western, central New York. That's by morning tomorrow. Now, we get a period of a mixed bag, southern part of that region while the snow continues north. And then look what happens as we head towards Thursday night and Friday. Are you kidding me? Are those really 40 plus inches? That's what the Euro is showing. by Saturday morning. It's actually got one area. It's incredible. And I'm not completely buying it, but you can't completely rule it out. Again, the northern green and white mountains, 30, locally 40 inches of snow. Incredible. Simply incredible. So as mentioned, we're not going to, we're not buying all this quite yet, but it's a lot of snow. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's zoom on into this region here, and I am focusing on the European model. All else being equal, it tends to be the most accurate. So let's come on into New England and a little closer up view of some of those snow totals. I mean, just absolutely insane numbers. Some of these, again, northern Adirondacks, where you're looking at, look at that. I mean, that's 20, 30 inches, locally 3 feet plus, right in this band here. Goes right across northwestern, or make that northeastern Adirondacks, northern Vermont, and into northern Maine. Absolutely insane. That's going to shut everything down. I know they're good about removing snow, but that's pretty historic. Let's quickly compare this to some of the other models, and then we'll bring this down for a close here. So here's the GFS. Not quite the same, but close. And in fact, it still has those 40 plus inches in northern Maine. So you've got two models now, similar solutions, and then this will blow your doors off. How about the high-res NAM? That is a 50-inch snowfall. 50 inches right there, and I don't know what town that is, but right on the Canadian border, it shows a 49.3. Absolute insanity. Big numbers it shows as well for portions of Western New York. And we'll be discussing that during my local show, which is Weather Live at 8:45. And that show is one that we produce through Facebook. So if you follow me on Facebook, you'll hear that show coming up here in about 10 minutes. It's Weather Live at 8:45. I did promise that I would not make this a duration deal. I just wanted to provide quick update. I'm trying to make this channel a little more active, and your feedback is welcome. Comments that are on here now, and comments that you may leave later on. Maybe you watch this after the live stream. Money 101, 45 inches of snow in northern Maine. Nice, right? Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. Anyway, I'm going to prepare for my other show now. Again, if you want to follow me, find me on Facebook. That's Jeremy Capel. Capel, by the way, with a K. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscription. That way you know when we come back with future updates, and you know I will. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.